Hi, and welcome to the Jeff Couret Podcast. Today we have Machine Gun Kells, who is someone who has had some really nice growth over the last month or so. So we're going to kind of dive into how that happens. And yeah, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Kelly on TikTok. As Jeff said, I'm Machine Gun Kells. I'm 24. I just kind of started TikTok, just like most other people, just kind of like as a kind of just a time waster, especially during the quarantine. Just kind of uh, get my mind off stuff and just keeping busy. And it's definitely gets I've found a lot of success from it very quickly. So I'm very grateful for that. And yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for hopping on. Looking forward to diving in. I'm sure a lot of people would like to achieve what you've achieved. And so let's get into the specifics on numbers real quick, because people want to know why they should listen. Well, here's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, take them into your growth and yeah, share some numbers.
I guess I'll just start out kind of like with my kind of general path from kind of when I just started TikTok for the first time. I was creating dance videos on Instagram, and kind of long story short, I got a lot of people saying like, "Oh, you should put these on TikTok." But I had also heard from other people that the stereotype like, "Oh, it's a kids app. Oh, it's cringy. It's weird," and so I kind of was deterred from it. I over time kind of opened up to it, kind of experienced it as just like a viewer instead of a content creator. And then I ended up posting my videos on there. And they did okay, but none of them really got past like 600 views at most. I was really not gaining any followers from it. It was just kind of like, I was just kind of, it wasn't really doing anything for me. And so I stopped for a while, and then kind of got back into it as just kind of created an account to do random trends, where I thought maybe I could catch some attention from there, some like just some funny stuff that other people were doing that I felt like I could do my own take on. But I found that it wasn't working because it was really just a bunch of just random stuff that was just kind of being piled together. I wasn't really sticking to a niche. And then so again, long story short, I kind of got away from that because I didn't get really more than like 100 followers. And then I remembered I had seen a couple videos on transition videos, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And so I ended up trying it, and my first one did pretty well. And but like the likes were really good, but the views weren't super high. It was like 1,500, then it just kind of stopped, and I was like, oh, what, like, why did that happen? And then I ended up making a actual like video, like sitting in front of the camera and like saying like, hey, like, I know you guys don't know me, but I make transition videos and I worked really hard on this. If you go check it out, that'd be really great. And I really, I expected like, probably like two or three people would pay attention to it because, it's whatever. But I actually got a lot of really good attention from there. And so from there, I kind of started from the ground up. So from like, I started a new account from zero to about 1,000 in about a week. And I had kind of like, bribed people with like follow backs too, which I follow through with. And that kind of helped too. But then I was finding that I was having a hard time growing a lot past that because I felt like TikTok doesn't really push transition videos a lot from what I've talked to with like friends and stuff in the transition community. And it's kind of hard to keep people's attention with it. And so I was, that's when I had entered your contest and then won, and then you did my account review. And I remember you said something about how transition videos, it's kind of hard because it's kind of like beaten to death. And to kind of tie it in with things that were kind of relatable to me. And I was kind of like, I was thinking about that, and I was wondering how I could do that. I was thinking maybe I could like do dance videos with transitions in it, which I thought would be pretty cool, but I couldn't really figure out anything that I could do with it. But so while I couldn't really figure out like the transition video side of like what I could make that was relatable, I did kind of start chugging my brain through like, okay, like what is a piece of content that's not a transition video that I could make that's unique to me and that's like about me and that's relatable to me. And I don't know if I'm kind of jumping the gun on questions here, but I remembered, okay, so I have Tourette syndrome, and I remember one time I had been accused of being on drugs because I hadn't taken my medicine. And so I do a lot of like head twitches and stuff. And I remembered seeing, you know, that song that's like, you can do anything you want when you're sexy. Yeah. So I had seen another trend. You might have seen it, but it was with a Domino's pizza delivery lady. And she said, like, you can do anything you want when you're financially stable. And then she talks about like, oh, like all these like the lack of tips that she gets and everything. And I was like, okay, like for some reason, like I thought, okay, what if I said like something about like being like neurologically like unstable? And so I took that trend and kind of flipped it on its side and like and kind of related it to my Tourette syndrome. And it like blew up super fast. It's got over 2 million views now. And so I was like, wow, okay, like this is like, I've found like, okay, so like relatable content is definitely something that's very important, because like all this time I'd spent doing transition videos, and like, I'll be honest, like transition videos, they're cool, but like they get old, you know, pretty fast. Like it's kind of like the same stuff a lot of the times.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
you kind of seen them all, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was really kind of stuck on, and like I'm in like a transition group, kind of like a transition hype house, and a lot of the people on there, like almost all of them have like under 4,000, 5,000 followers. And they're always talking about like, man, why can't I grow? And then I check their accounts and like all they do is post transition videos. And so I'm like, okay, like people that like transition videos, yeah, they're gonna follow you, but like I've learned that you need to have a niche, but then like kind of break off into like TikTok really values comedy. I think, you know, they really value like comedic twists to trends and everything. And so even though I was a little bit nervous when my video on my Tourette syndrome went viral, because while it was great, I was like, okay, like a lot of these followers now are coming from people that aren't from like my niche, you know. And I was kind of worried that like it was gonna like throw off my numbers a lot, because like people that, you know, aren't expecting me, they're expecting me to have an account based on Tourette syndrome and not transition videos. But a lot of the people that I found that were coming from that video were coming onto my transition videos like, hey, this is really cool, but like he also has different content that's like funny. And like I had remembered that like once I had realized that my video was going viral, I made a response comment that was like just like a comedic, like I got a ton of people asking me like, oh, like can you still drive? Like, how can you drive? And so they were like, can you drive with Tourette's? It seems like it'd be really difficult. So I made like a funny video of me like taking out and then like swerving the car, and then a video of a car rolling down a hill. And so that like it kind of expanded on that video and like blew up kind of on the side. And so that ended up kind of shifting my account to just transition videos, to like more transition videos with like comedic content. And then also on the side of my transition videos, I had one that went, I guess you could call it viral. It has 800,000 views now, or about 800,000 views. And it was a tutorial. And so I had kind of been asked for tutorials like when I had like 1,300 followers. But I kind of like had always wanted to kind of like adopt the idea of like a magician like never reveals his secrets, because I feel like a lot of the transition videos, the magic behind it is that like people don't realize how easy it is, but it looks like it's really difficult. And so I kind of didn't really want to give away the secret, but I found that like when you make videos that like have like something to really offer someone, it really like attracts their attention and really gets it going. And I kind of took what I felt was like one of my best transitions and like one of my most popular ones, with me kind of like falling into bed, falling into the pillow, and then kind of looping around. I did a tutorial on that, and so yeah, that blew up, and I got some good followers that were from the transition niche onto that account. And so that ended up doing really well for my account. And that was just The viral video I did with the Tourette's was, I think June, like I think around like a month ago, almost to the date. And I had about 1,400 followers when I posted that video, and now I have 45.5K. And I'm still like gaining about 100, 200 followers a day. So it's definitely been something that's I found has really kind of just kicked off my account and done well.
Was it the 2 million or the 800 one?
The 2 million.
The 2
Yeah.
million one that blew up your account?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
What about the other one, the one with the transition tutorial that's currently at 778,000?
Like how to do as far as,
I'm just, yeah, how did it do in terms of growing your account? Not quite as much.
yeah, definitely. It definitely did really good because I got a good amount. I mean, I got a ton of followers from the 2 million one, but the transition one I got, I probably not close to it, but I did pretty well. It definitely like got people attracted to my page because when it started blowing up, I noticed that like my recent transition videos were starting to go up and up and up because people were going to my page and checking me out. And so it definitely helped me increase my page even more because I had actually done the transition tutorial like a couple days before I made the one that got 2 million. And it didn't end up going viral until like a week later because of like the new algorithm. And so it was surprising that it actually went viral because I thought it was going to kind of flop because it was only at like 1,000, 2,000 after like 2 days. And so, but yeah, I got a lot of collab like offers and stuff to do transition videos with people and a lot of questions from people and people going to my Instagram and DMing me and asking like, oh, how do you do this? And like, a lot of that I know came from the transition videos, especially the tutorial video. And that's the only tutorial video I've done, but it's by far the most successful transition video I've made.
So what I tell a lot of people, do more of what's working and less of what's not.
Mhm.
And as I look through your last 10 or so, maybe 15 videos,
Yeah.
looks like you haven't quite done any more tutorials. So is there a reason behind that, or?
Yeah. So I kind of I've been thinking about doing more. But then again, it kind of goes back to that idea of like, okay, like I feel like if I do the tutorials, it kind of gives away like the magic behind what like a lot of my followers kind of see the transition videos as. They're like, oh, well, how do you do that? Like that's mind blowing and stuff. And but at the same time, I see how successful those tutorial videos are, and I definitely am planning on making more of that because I'm kind of getting outside of the idea of like, okay, uh, you know, kind of almost this, I guess, kind of selfishness, kind of in a way, where it's like I kind of want to keep it to myself and keep the secret to myself, but kind of branching out because I see that like, okay, the transition videos in itself without the tutorial side, they're entertaining, but they're not blowing up like the tutorials are where people can like watch it over and over again to kind of like learn it for themselves. And so definitely, I definitely plan on doing that more as I go along with my content.
Cool. So we see that your tutorial video had a lot of success, right?
Mhm.
And I think there's something a lot of people struggle with is like, should you give away your best secrets or not? For me,
Right.
I feel like I have grown, and I've got probably the number one channel that's specifically focused on growing, helping people grow their TikTok. And I
Yeah.
think it's because I do give away my best advice for free. Like
Yeah.
and a lot of times there is an internal struggle of like, should I give this away or should I not? Like I could
Right.
in, but I think that if you give away your best advice, I think you earn a lot of respect. I think it helps you stand out. And
Yeah.
there's something Gary Vaynerchuk said that's kind of stuck with me. It's you can give away your best advice for free, and you can feel
Mhm.
confident that 99.9% of people aren't going to take action on it.
Yeah.
Um, they're just going to sit there, right? So
Yeah.
it probably won't matter that much. And then on top of that, if you do give away your best advice, I think it helps you stand out. It's like, oh, this person actually is saying something different than 99% of other people who are just repeating the same thing that other people are saying. So,
Right.
but then it's like, do you want to have an educational or do you not? Well, I think the fact that you're 100% on on tutorial videos,
Yeah.
when I think it just depends. Like, do you want to have an
Yeah.
entertainment channel? Do you want to have an education channel? Do you care?
Right.
Do you want to have an influence on people? Um, I
Right.
mean, you could always supplement with it or whatever, or I think you potentially could explode your account maybe 10
Yeah.
over the next couple months if you just go all in on educational, how to transition, right?
Definitely.
Because like the numbers, let's look at the numbers. To me, it kind of feels like the numbers are saying, um, that's just providing more value. The relatable and the tutorial are just providing more value overall. And value isn't just education; it's like entertainment,
Mm.
just whatever.
Yeah.
So, just some stuff to think about. But it's
Yeah.
cool to see. Isn't it a cool feeling when you have like, oh, I know I can do this. If my account starts stalling or things start getting stagnant, I can always do one of these. But at the same
Yeah.
time, if you wait too long, because just think how many people did that one tutorial of that one transition where you fall on the bed and then you get back up. I bet you the first person who did the tutorial probably got a ton of views.
Yeah.
I'm sure probably hundreds of people who have done a very similar tutorial.
Right.
Maybe 50, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I think it's just one of those things you don't want to wait too long. So
Yeah.
some stuff that I'd be thinking about. But
Definitely. Yeah.
super awesome to
Yeah.
see.
No, it is. It definitely is cool to have something to kind of, like you said, kind of fall back on when I'm kind of feeling stagnant. Like right now, I feel like because my account, like in the following few weeks when my video went viral, was doing really well. And recently I've kind of seen my views kind of getting decreased because I feel like less people are being drawn to my account because the video is kind of going off. But it's definitely good to kind of have something to at least consider and like to fall back on, like for instance the tutorial video that I feel like ends up really gathering people's attention and really kind of, because it's like I said, like it's really about having something to offer someone. It's like they can be entertained by my transition videos, but when they have something that they can gain from it specifically, it definitely really, of course it's kind of just like psychology. When you have something that's going to benefit you, you want to attend to it more. And so it's definitely something that I have considered, and definitely something I'm going to kind of be opening up to more now that I found that it's been really successful, because it's almost towards 1 million views now. I mean,
Yeah.
getting up there towards that side, but
And in a way, like I see those numbers and I get jealous because I have an education channel, but
uh,
it's just like my education is, it's just, how to grow on TikTok is kind of a thing that the core demographic of TikTok isn't interested in. Like I really
mhm.
think the core demographic of TikTok is middle school and early high school.
Yeah.
And like my really, like people tell me all the time, like I've changed their lives. I've helped them grow significantly on
Nice.
TikTok. All these
Yeah.
tips I've given them, but at the same time, only a couple of my actual TikTok tip videos have gotten over like 500K, maybe like
Mhm.
two. That's it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
man, I would, but I think at the same time, you're tapping into something that people really want, and
Yeah.
it's really perfect for this platform. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
So so you won my contest. Which was it,
Mhm.
the 20 posts per day? Is that the one that it was, or something?
Was it the which one?
I did a 20 post per day contest. I did a bunch of contests. I'm
No, it was one on your live. It was just the top 3 highest givers. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I definitely remember looking at your account, and so
Yeah.
I duetted you with a review in like what, June? You said June 10th, and you had 1,300. Now you have like 45,000.
45.5. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome to see.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's earlier in the talk you said you had created a new account. So
Mhm.
why did you decide to create a new account? Because that's something I get asked all the time. Should I create a new account? Should I not? And
Yeah.
I didn't do. So I'm curious why you made that choice.
Definitely. I think it was mainly just like to have a fresh start, because I knew that, because so I had my page that I kind of, like I said, just kind of like, it was just a bunch of weird trends and just kind of random crap that was just, that I thought was funny and that some people thought was funny, but wasn't really gaining much traction. But on that account, I came across like 3 Corey and all these people that are big transitioners, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I kind of thought like, okay, like I could kind of start my videos on the page that I already had, but I felt like I wanted a fresh start to kind of just dedicate kind of like in my mind just to a new page to really just dedicate to transition videos. And also I just felt like the page that I was on, that I was making those comedy stuff on, the views were just already kind of screwed up, at least what I thought. I didn't know much about the TikTok algorithm at that point, but I felt like making a new account with like a fresh start would be better for me to kind of just attract more viewers instead of just kind of adding on to what I already had with my art, like 150 followers. And so it was really just kind of, yeah, just mainly that, just having a fresh start and just kind of starting clean and just dedicating one page to a specific niche, which now I've kind of branched out a little bit to some comedy stuff. But that's ended up working. So.
Okay. All right, let's talk about monetization, right?
Mhm.
And I guess where you're trying to take this. So
Yeah.
let's start with like, what do you do for work, or like, are you working, or like, what's going on there?
So I'm a student right now. On the side, I'm working as an aide for students with disabilities. I'm trying to get into medical school. So this is definitely not a like something that I feel like I am trying to push is like to be like a TikToker one day or a social media influencer, like as a paid influencer one day. It's kind of just like I have the mindset of like, okay, like whatever happens, happens. The fact that I'm growing right now is kind of pushing me towards like, maybe I could do this as a side gig if I end up, finding more time to, create more videos, which unfortunately now that the quarantine's starting to end, I'm starting to get busier and busier. And so, but I'm still trying to figure out more time to kind of get that content out there. But it's definitely, it's definitely not something that I feel like I am, like I feel like even if I like blew up in like millions of followers and was making good money off of it, it's definitely not something that I just want to dedicate my whole life to. It's definitely something that's still like I'm set on the career goals that I already have. So
So, and, it sounds like it's just kind of a fun hobby for you right now.
it is, yeah, definitely. And then I'm blessed to have it be as successful as it is now, because I know a lot of people that I've talked to that are really have the goal of trying to monetize their account, and they're really having trouble even getting to the into the K range, like 10K and up. And that's what I kind of try to encourage them is like, well, not encourage them, but it's not very encouraging, but I try to tell them like, make sure that you're not relying on TikTok to be like that. You're just going to rely on it being successful. You're not going to rely on it being your job. Make sure that you have like like in my mindset is just kind of like start it as it's meant to be. It's meant to be fun. Don't take it too seriously. Don't take it too like, if your videos start flopping, just keep trying. Keep having fun with it. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, then there's other stuff that's meant for you. But yeah, it's definitely it's definitely something that I've been thinking about for myself, because I kind of got into that mindset when I started growing like a couple weeks ago. Like when my account first started doing really well, I was like, okay, like should I start trying to reach out to brands and starting to reach out to companies and stuff, even with the still not great amount of followers that I have. But I haven't really taken that step forward yet. I feel like if I can continue to grow, I definitely will. I'm already monetizing some stuff from my Instagram account, just for my content with like collaborations with other like up and coming apps that I kind of post my content to, and then they pay me to kind of keep their app alive so they can kind of grow. But yeah, so definitely more of the mindset of like having fun than making money.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was thinking maybe like if you wanted to go the education route, maybe you could like sell some sort of course or some kind of thing that could help people like learn how to do better transitions. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
possibility.
yeah.
depending on the age range and like how affordable it was and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Sounds like, it sounds like medical school and that kind of thing is kind of your plan, and
Yeah.
it's kind of fun for you, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to make money here.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. Um,
Right.
Here's a question for you: If you
Mhm.
could, if you could make enough money from TikTok, would you
Mhm.
bother with medical school? That's a question. That's a big question.
Mhm. It's a good question. Um, I I think I would, because not to get too much into the medical school like path, because I mean I don't mean to like deter from the conversation, but uh, I definitely, like, I mean, through the years that I've known that I want to be a doctor, it's definitely I've put, becoming a doctor is such a rigorous, it's a difficult path, and it's required a lot of my soul. And so I've definitely grown enough of a passion for the career plans that I have specifically in medicine, that I feel like even if I did very well on TikTok and was making money from that, I would still not kind of use that as like my full-time job. It's definitely something that I feel like wouldn't give me the purpose that I feel like I am kind of like kind of chasing for in my life and stuff. And so I definitely think that it would, I mean, of course it would be great if I did. I'm not, I mean, I wouldn't complain, but it definitely wouldn't be something that I feel like I would kind of put everything else kind of on the back burner. Um, yeah.
So, one thing we're seeing is, private practice doctors and stuff like that. They're using
Yeah.
not to market their business. I don't know. Are you
Yes.
thinking like private practice? Are you thinking like at a hospital? Because maybe you could, do your own marketing on TikTok.
Yeah.
Whenever you become a doctor, you know what I mean? Have you thought about?
Yeah, yeah. I was actually, it's interesting that you say that, because I have actually been interested in doing private practice, and it's actually something that I have talked with some doctors that I've shadowed, and one of them is actually on TikTok. I can't remember his username, but he is a orthopedic surgeon, and that's what I want to do. And we were talking about that, and he was saying that like he makes videos on different like rehab techniques and different like tips on how to overcome like surgery anxiety. And then also he has uh, a colleague who has his own practice, and that doctor has actually used TikTok to market his business. I'm not sure in what way, but I do know that they have kind of a lot of people in the professional fields have used TikTok, aside from all the goofy comedy stuff, but to actually take a professional take to it, and really grow their company or grow their practice, or kind of offer their advice to people that might not be educated in it already.
Yeah, I think there's a big opportunity here, and this goes for you or anybody else listening to this who's about to
Yeah.
go some sort of career path with school and stuff like that, of like documenting the journey of like today.
Mhm.
Like, what are you in medical school right now, or are you?
No, I'm studying for the MCAT right now, which is the test to get in. Yeah.
Imagine how cool it would be, like whenever you do become a doctor, and however many years
Mhm.
that would be. I know it's a long journey, but
Yeah.
dude, this dude Kelly documented his entire journey of like starting medical school and like all the
Yeah.
changes he did, and like now he's a doctor, and like all these people are now following you, not only because like you're kind of showing them what it's like to actually go to med school, but they're like, they're starting to trust you and stuff like that. And then, before you know it, you have like a massive audience of people who are interested in the medical side of what you do. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying necessarily create another account, but maybe start peppering some of that stuff in, and then
Yeah.
who knows where it could go. And then by the time it, because a lot of doctors, they struggle to market their business, because
Yes.
doctors in their neck of the woods. And I'm in the marketing industry, and like
Mhm.
a lot of the clients that me and my partners work with are in the medical industry, and they struggle. They really need.
Yeah.
So I think you can give yourself a big leg up if you do want to go into private practice. So again, this goes for you, or like anybody else wanting to start their own business one day. Like, start documenting the process of starting the business, and then you'll have like an audience
Yeah.
who can actually do start the business.
Yeah. 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 Start early. Definitely. No, that's a great advice for sure. Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to end it because I got a ton of stuff. I just got back from vacation. This is my first day back at work. So
Oh, yeah.
I got a
Yeah.
lot to do, but let me let you tell people where they can find you and
Cool. Yeah.
check you out.
Yeah. So it's Machine Gun Kells. So just Machine Gun and then KELLZZ. And so, yeah. So I have transition videos on there, and then some comedy stuff that is relatable and non-relatable, kind of takes some twists on trends. And yeah, so, but definitely my niche is transition videos for sure.
All right, so everybody definitely go check out Kelly's his TikTok and stuff like that. I am going to also put my ultimate guide to TikTok growth right here in the description down below. So definitely check that out as well. And everybody have an amazing day. Thanks for hopping on, Kelly.
Cool.
And,
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah. Have a good one.